Hi everyone, welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts. Today I am sharing another crafty collaboration card with my friend Kathy Aranzana. We are using Rina K Designs Electro-Pop transfer sheets. I'm also using this poinsettia Biggs die from Tim Holtz, this sparkle stencil, and I will start by adding some of the deco foil transfer gel Blanco. So the Blanco is the white. Blanco is white in Spanish, and you can use either the deco foil duo or the deco foil transfer gel Blanco with the Rina K Designs Electro-Pop sheets. Now you cannot use toner sheets, you cannot use the regular deco foil transfer gel. It has to either be the Blanco or the duo. So I started by putting one of the poinsettias down at a time and realized I could put two down at a time, and I am just simply laying down that transfer gel over the stencil. I will pick them up and they do stick to the back. So between each application, so I did two at a time. I think I have 6 of them, so I think I did it 3 times. And between each of them, I did wipe it off with a baby wipe, and if I needed to, I took it over to my sink and washed it as well. Now, those little transfer sheets, they are very thin and they tend to stick to the glue that's on the outside packaging, so be very careful when you do take them out of the package. They come 12 to a pack. I am going to use approximately 3 today, so I have cut it down excuse me, to fit what I have. I heated my Mink machine up. I heated it on number 5, ran it through. Now I'm just rubbing it, and I will take it off and you'll see how beautiful it came out. Isn't that pretty? As I said, I did cut out the poinsettia twice so that I have 6 petals. That way I get a very nice full poinsettia. I love this flower. This is one of my favorite Christmas dies. I've had it for a very long time and I still use it every single year. I'm adding some water to the back of these, and that's so that as I am pinching the petals so that I get a little bit more dimension and fullness to this flower, that it doesn't crack, so the water helps it from cracking. You just need to mist it. You don't want to completely wet it. Sometimes I will add a little bit more water, and then I will kind of do a pleated fold on the florals, but not this time. I'm just basically pinching each of those petals in half. And I decided that because that Electro-Pop is really vibrant and bright, I didn't want to overwhelm the whole entire card with so much of it that was all that you saw. So I decided that I was going to leave a lot of white space on this poinsettia. I did use Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock throughout this particular piece. And I am offsetting each of the flowers. So you see that I keep turning them to make sure that I fill in each of the spots. And it's always going to just go with the next one counterclockwise between the last 2 petals. And look at, I have a beautiful big full poinsettia. Now I have this Catherine Pooler, it's called Faceted. It's a really beautiful slimline stencil, and some Dylusions grass green spray. And I'm going to set that aside to dry. When I put the transfer gel over the poinsettias, I did set those aside for 1 hour. That's the recommended amount of time. I probably could have put the transfer sheets over them a lot sooner because I am here in the desert where it's really dry, but I chose to wait. I did lay down a little bit of picked raspberry. I thought that it would go nicely with this pink. And I am putting some more transfer gel down over a gingham stencil, which is also from Tim Holtz, so that I can get a nice little pattern over the picked raspberry. And I love the way that this turns out. I will set this aside for an hour. So there was a lot of wait time in between my project, which was really nice because I could get some other stuff done while I was waiting for that to dry. You want to make sure that you do put those transfer sheets with the shiny side up. So you want to make sure that the color that you want transferred onto your project is facing up. And I am just using some of the bits and pieces that I had left instead of trying to cut a new transfer sheet. I'll run this through again. And then I'm going to run through that piece of faceted, the stenciling that I did. Because I did use that grass green spray, I wanted to make sure that the panel was flat, and this is a great way to flatten out any warping that you might have on your panels. Also, you can use your Vagabond or any die cutting machine that you have. So I'm going to reveal, you'll see I have a couple of white spots. I cover up a few of them using some of the bits and pieces right there. I'm going to run that through again, and then we'll move on. So I am using the Cat Scrappiness Condensed Alpha. It is one of my favorite alphas that I have in my collection. I'm going to lay down the word Mary. Now I will put some tape over the top of this just to make sure that it stays straight as I'm putting it through my die cutting machine, because I don't want the gingham pattern to be different on each of the letters. And then I'll use that same piece of tape later on. I will have to cut the R twice, which I don't show, but I do end up cutting that twice, and you can see how beautiful it turned out. That picked raspberry was just the perfect ink combination to go with the pop and pink that I used. And pink is my favorite color. These transfer sheets come in orange, yellow, pink, and green. I think the pink and green would probably be my favorite of the two. I decided to go with the spray instead of with the green transfer sheets. This is the Never Ending Nesting Dies from Cat Scrappiness. I'm using the largest one, which is approximately 3 1/8 by 8 1/8. And that is going to be the background. I am making a shaker card, so that will be the background to my shaker card. Isn't that faceted stencil really cool? I thought that it was just so perfect for this non-traditional Christmas card. I'm laying everything down to see how I want it, and I decide that I want to use a frame. So I am going to use the tri-frame slimline, also from Cat Scrappiness. I'm going to cut that out of Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock, and that is just going to add a little bit more white to my project again, so that those bright colors aren't overwhelming. And here I'll come in with a slimline piece and cut my frame out. And then I'm going to cut a piece of acetate off screen for the backing of that frame. Here I have that piece of acetate. I'm going to run my art glitter glue around the edges. I'll lay my acetate down, trim off any of the overhang, and then I'll lay down, I have scrapbook.com's 1/4 inch foam tape, and I am going to lay that across the back. I don't get things straight. That's just not my thing. So I do have to trim a little bit of that 1/4 inch tape, but I love that tape. It's so easy to use. I'm using my embossing buddy, and I'm trying to get all around the edges of that foam tape so that none of these beautiful mirrored clear starlight sequins, also from Cat Scrappiness, they are so beautiful. Look at the close-up at how pretty they are. I'm trying to make sure that none of those stick. I do get a little bit of sticking in the upper right hand side, but for the most part the anti-static tool did its job. I wanted more. I started with a small amount of those sequins, and then I decided that I was just going to put the whole package in there because it's a slimline shaker. It needs a lot of shake, and I thought that it would be absolutely beautiful. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? I need to get some more of these. I think these are absolutely fabulous. If you haven't checked out the resin pieces and all of the little shaker pieces that Kat carries over at her store, all of the products that I'm using today will be listed in the description box below, but especially these little shaker bits. Kat has some super fun ones, so I would highly recommend that you check out her store. Here I'm just using my grid mat to line up my pieces, and then I'm going to knock them out of whack and have to do this again. I came in with a small piece of tape. I don't know why. I thought I would just lay 2 pieces of tape down, and yeah, that didn't work. So I will come in with a bigger piece of tape just to keep that straight as I set it aside for gluing it onto the front of my card later on. Now I do need some leaves for my poinsettia, so I am going to cut out the largest of the poinsettia flower, and I will use that piece for my leaves. And I am going to use that grass green spray again. Off camera, I also sprayed, there's a centerpiece for the poinsettia. I also sprayed that with the grass green at the same time. I'm going to cut these apart, and then I'm going to pinch them just like I did the poinsettia pieces for the flower. Here's where I'm just making sure where everything's gonna fit. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of my letters, and I'm going to lay those down. And that tape really helps. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love for you to subscribe, ring the bell so that you're notified whenever I do upload a video. Like this video, it really helps. If you like the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, because that really helps get my videos out into the YouTube world. I am going to link Kathy's video in the description box below. Make sure that you head over to her channel and check out how she used these Rina K Electro-Pop well, I'm not sure if she's using Pop and Pink. I have a feeling she may use Pop and Pink, but these transfer sheets for a non-traditional Christmas card. So now I have my letters on. I'm going to glue my poinsettia down, and then I'm going to pinch my leaves a little bit, and I'm going to start putting those in. I'm going to end up using 3 of them. And I guess I didn't pinch them. I guess I decided to keep them as they were. Usually I pinch them, so that's kind of surprising. So I am going to put those in, and then I will come back in and I will put that little centerpiece into the center of the poinsettia, and that is pretty much going to be my card. Again, thank you so much for watching and for supporting both Kathy and I as we bring these challenges to you each month. We absolutely love doing this. I am using a Cat Scrappiness. She has an embellishment picker that really helps with picking up the little pieces that you have laying around your desk. I did create a card base using Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock. The finished card is going to be 3 1/4 by 5 by 8 1/4. So there's going to be, or 3 3.5 by 8.5. My apologies. So there's going to be a nice border. And as I said, I wanted to leave a lot of white space to make sure that those neon colors weren't overwhelming. Here's a final look at my card. Thank you so much for watching and have a fabulous day.